The night was heavy with secrets and betrayal, a suffocating attire that hung over the peaceful house like a covering. Amidst the cricket's murmurs and the wind's flutter, there lingered a dark and twisted story that threatened to tear a family apart. This is the story of Kali, a man whose greed and laziness led him astray, and Nneka, a lady whose strength and dignity were put to utmost test. Lagos, Nigeria, where a lot of things happen. Lagos is one of the most bustling cities in Nigeria. There lived Khalid. Kali, as fondly called by his friends, is a 35-year-old man who was married to Nneka, a 30-year-old woman. Their marriage was blessed with a beautiful girl, and for 5 years, they lived together, not so happily, but they were still together. It was a night like any other in Okoko, except for the dark, desperate thoughts swirling in Kali's mind. He sat on the worn-out couch in their compound, staring blankly at the peeling wallpaper. Kali had always been a man with big dreams and even bigger excuses. While others in the neighborhood hustled and worked tirelessly, Kali spent his days looking for schemes to get rich quick. He would spend hours betting and engaging in Ponzi schemes, none of which ever came to fruition. His wife, Nneka, was the epitome of resilience and grace, balancing several jobs to keep them going, while Kali's laziness and greed deepened. His wife, Nneka, was as beautiful as the most gorgeous blooms in Lagos' busy market. Her spirit, however, was even brighter than her appearance. Nneka was a strong and resilient lady, her laughter a rebellious harmony to the harsh melody of their difficulties. She worked diligently, her hands were blessed, and she was one of the most Lagos sought-after unisex tailors, with all the city's elites, men and women, flocking to her shop to have her sew clothes for them. Whereas Kali spent his days lazying in the shade, his aspirations of success as big as his dislike for works. Despite Kali's laziness and their financial struggles, Nneka's love for her husband remained steadfast. She believed in his potential, his ability to provide for their family, and she clung to the hope that one day their fortune would change. But as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, Kali's ambitions remained unfulfilled. His dreams of wealth, nothing more than a mirage. One evening, Nneka came back as usual from her busy work. She had an encounter with one of her richest and long-time customers. He had walked in on her, deep in thought, and offered her a crying shoulder. Nneka told her husband, Kali, how it went with Bode. Bode was a perfect man that leaves eyes rolling and neck turning wherever he is. His smell was that of chocolate and strawberry, courtesy of his perfume. He dresses ravishingly and was also rich and a CEO of one of the fastest rising tech and media company in Lagos. When it comes to money, Bode was a typical money misroad kind of guy because he was born into money, and if he places 200 people on 200,000 naira monthly salary, he won't still run out of money. Bode found out about Nneka's place from one of his workers, and since then he has been consistently patronizing her. Kali, Nneka started hesitantly after recounting her day. There is this customer who has been very helpful to me. He seems nice and receptive, but I'm afraid he wants something more. Kali, immersed in his own thoughts, brushed her concerns aside. Don't worry, Nneka. He is just another rich man trying to impress. It's nothing. As time went on, Bode finally came clean to Nneka about his intention. Nneka, I want to have an affair with you, he said bluntly one afternoon in her shop. I want us to be more than friends. I want to be closer to you, travel and have fun with you. You know I can help you raise this shop to international standards. Nneka, taken aback, politely declined and reminded him that they were both married. I can't, Bode. We are both married and it's not right. But they persisted. "I will give you 25 million naira." He blurted out immediately. "I know you and your husband are having money issues. If you can just accompany me to a business meeting in Jos for the weekend, I will give you 25 million naira cash, and then I will support your daughter's education to any level of choice." Nneka was stunned. She had read about such situations and seen them in movies, but she never imagined she would face such a temptation in real life. Unsure of what to do, she decided to tell Kali, even though she feared his reaction. "But they asked me to follow him to Jos for the weekend, and he will give us 25 million naira," Nneka said to her husband after dinner. "But I refused. I told him no." Kali's eyes widened with surprise and spark of greed. "Wait, you mean Bode promised you 25 million naira for a weekend?" he asked. "Incredible." "Yes," Nneka replied. "You are going," Kali declared, a grin spreading across his face. "We have just hit the jackpot, and there is nothing you can say to make me change my mind." Nneka was horrified. She stood up and left the room. But the next few days were hellish. Kali began giving her silent treatment, indirectly pushing her to follow his plan. Nneka's heart beat like a talking drum, and her breath became trapped in her throat. Her love for Kali clashed with her disgust at his proposal. Tears welled up in her eyes, affecting the image of the man she promised to love and adore. But beneath the tears, a firm resolve arose within her. Nneka understood that ignoring Kali's demand would doom them to a life of constant struggle. With a heavy heart and silent prayers, she grudgingly accepted Kali's proposal. Days passed into weeks, and Nneka had done the unthinkable. She followed Bode to Jos. Even though she had so much fun with him, she was not happy that her husband could think of such and approve of it. Upon her return, Kali's attitude changed drastically. He no longer touched her, stopped eating her food, and deserted her emotionally. Meanwhile, Kali enjoyed his newfound money. He wore flashy agbada, and his laughter echoed through different nightclubs and bars. He hosted elaborate parties, showered his friends with presents, and bragged about his newfound wealth. He got married to a younger lady who helped him squander all the money. Nneka, on the other hand, took her daughter, rented a new place, leaving Kali with the money. Forgiveness did not come easily to her. She needed time to heal, to process the trauma she had endured. But in her heart, she knew that forgiveness was the only path to peace, both for herself and for her future. She forgave herself and started again. She became more successful, but in her heart, she had forgiven Kali to free herself.